Alright everybody, welcome back. As you can see, I did some sketching. So, now we're going for the, smirk face. That's the second thing that I needed to draw for the visual novel, for the prelog scene. So, that's what I'm gonna be aiming for today. I already have been doing some sketching, so I still need to do the eyes, and then after that I will probably be fine with most of the stuff. So, no further ado, let's get started, shall we? Yeah, I finally actually got around making the right, how do you say that? Mashed potatoes, there you go. Mashed potato cream, technically. I finally succeeded at doing that properly. I had quite a hard time doing it. The main issue that I had with it was that the last time I tried it, I actually had a very terrible uncooked potato parts into it, which was not very good for the stomach. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I actually succeeded at it now. So now we're gonna make this 3.8. So what I'm going to be doing here is going to be adding up the eyes again, and then after that I can do the rest. Yeah. So most of it is going to be the same, but some of it is going to be changing up because, well, you still need to... Ooh, There we go. But as you can see, there are some stuff here that is not there. And after, drawing the full drawing, then I can start with the... getting the putting this all into transparency and then do it again. Oh, what the hell? Why did it went red again? That's always annoying. All right. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing this, and then after that we're gonna be aiming towards getting it all colored up. But first, I need to always make sure that I have the drawing done properly. All right. There you go. That should fix it. And there we have the smile. Yes. It's a very the smile is not very correct. I will fix that now. I actually did the smile almost perfectly, but I have to do it again. There we go. Now we have the fucking smile on it. Yeah, and be like, take that. Yes. All right. Now that we have done that, there are some things that need to be fixed properly. Yes, that part. I did that a little bit too early, so I'm gonna be doing that a little bit on the sideways. Let's see. This part needs to be done. This part needs to be done. Then this part needs to be drawn in like that. All right. There we go. Good. Now we have drawn it again, and now we can, put it all into one basket and then do the transparency and then start with the real line art. It's always good to have this in one go. Oh, are there more in the are there more wizards in the game, or is it just this man? There is only one. There is only one wizard, but he makes he's the advisor of one of the main characters. He's literally the person that just gives the advice. Even though his advice might be only from his perspective, it does give it more of an interesting idea from it. But yeah, the wizard is gonna be, it's one guy who talks about what happened and how things happened to him, and then the main characters are probably gonna be talking about that. So yeah, now no further ado, let's get this perfectly drawn in. Of course, I'm gonna keep this one right here because this is actually important for later on. It shows the way of how I need to shade it, like like some how do you say it when you have like an evil dude looking at a grin, you always have that kind of idea. Let's see. Well, almost. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna move that way. But that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I also like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like to have like a mentor for one of the girls to talk to while she's sleeping. And of course, there are also downsides to this, but it's fun having like his perspective on certain types of situation, being like, yeah, you technically should do this. You technically, if you encounter this or that, you technically should do this or that. But of course, not everything is the way of how things want to be, of how things go. I also want to have the wizard be in one of the appear in one of the chapters. In a special chapter where they get betrayed by how do you say that? A dude who collects artifacts like Indiana Jones, but then just a Mexican dude who wants to become the most all-powerful wizard in the whole damn world by collecting a spell book that the girls are gonna get for him because, well, he's playing the good guy there. So are there some who are some? Oh, I said it before, but your art style is very pleasing. How long have you been drawing? I have been drawing since the age of I believe 8 or 6. Yeah, 8 or 6. That's the most. That's the most. That's the most earliest time I remember that I started drawing. Um, but then after that, but most of it was just watching, well, drawing things like dinosaurs and birds and elephants and all that stuff. I only had only 3 years ago. 3 years ago actually, I started drawing humans properly. Well, started to work on drawing humans properly. I'll show you, by the way. It's insane how much I have improved. So this was back in the old-fashioned day of long ago. As you can see, this is human. This is human now. This is human how I drew humans before. It's a noodly perfection. So as you can see, it's 2021. So I believe then, yeah, only 2 years ago. No, what? 3 years, right? Now it's 3 years. Yeah, now 3 years. 3 years ago, I started with drawing humans, and this is how far I got now. So if you look at, let's see, the image from Mina, for instance, that is the same drawing. You can see that, yeah, it's you can see that, yeah, Mina has been improved quite a lot, and I'm very fond of it. And the same goes with the thumbnail. It's a lot better. Let's put it that way. For instance, if you look at the difference between Rufina first and Rufina there, this was Rufina before, so there you go. And now we have actually a thumbnail to show you where Rufina, now Rufina in the thumbnail is actually so much more better than beforehand. There you go. Much more entertaining to and far more energetic to look at. Of course, it's not perfect, but you know, I still need to improve upon that. But you know, it takes time and effort, and well, you know, that time and effort will take time. So probably in 1 year or so, I will be even better at drawing things. So I'm very happy upon how far I already at. Of course, you know, this is the cartoonish style, so it's not the style that oh, hello, Pixie. Popping up to say definitely you have improved. Thanks. I'm also fond of it. Yeah. The whole point is that if you look at my work from, you know, back in the day, I have two art styles. This is one of them. This is the Toonie art style. I really liked Donald Duck and how do you say that, Tintin. Most of the times I wrote those I read those cartoony style books because I could not read properly. And of course, you know, I have been improving upon that as well by, you know, improving my English, keeping that up to date ever since. And if you look at that and you look at where is it? Where had the new one? Hold on one sec. Oh my god. My head. There you go. No, not the wall poster. But if you look at, for instance, the no, where is it? Where the hell is it? I swear I placed it somewhere. It's in the new map, but the new map is not here. Is the new map? No, it's not there. Oh yeah, there's the new map. So if you look at this, for instance, I'll show you here. So if you look at this, this is the other style that I'm using. This is a far more detailed style. Of course, it takes a longer time to work on it, and I just finished the Malfa project. So I could have just picked up the Malfa project. Silly me. And yeah, it's one of the styles that I also like to play. But of course, it's a far more different art style that requires a lot more time to work on. I believe it. Yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun to improve. You know, when you draw and then you see other people draw as well, and then you see how they improve, and then you see how you improve. That's why I always do self-reflections after a couple of months. I always try to correct myself on seeing like, all right, what did I do? How did I do it? What did I do? And how can I improve upon that? The same goes for, the Malfa project that I did. It's like, I did so much wrong in there that it was so like, yes, I technically had to do this, but I didn't. So how do we fix that? Well, next time we should definitely not do this and not do that. And then, everything will work out fine. And that's most likely to be the case. And I'm very fond of it. I'm very fond of how much I already possess right now upon the skills that I managed. Of course, not everything is yet fully fully mastered, but hey, after only 2 years of drawing digitally, it's quite a long time. I always have been drawing on pencil and paper, but I started drawing like 3 years ago. I started drawing on the digital side, and that is indeed a lot more different than with pencil because of the amount of stuff I can do. For instance, making the layers go transparent is a very helpful tool. It helped me a lot to improve a lot more quicker, especially if you want to redo the same thing. Uh, it shows that you have maturity. Mature. Oh, yes. Uh, true. I try to do my very best to be a very mature person when it comes to these things. I don't know if that it is a thing, but yeah, the amount of stuff that I try to do while looking at it, making sure that I don't make the mistakes twice, and then correcting myself when I make the mistakes to remember it. And I must say, I'm very happy that I learned that that is a thing that I need to do. Working, getting better at it, improve your work, continue improving your work. Even if you finish the product, for instance, with the wizard, of course, there are some things that I would like to change, but I cannot yet because I have not mastered it. If you would have given me like maybe 5 more years, I would have been definitely creating the same story with the same art style, but maybe a little bit more different, or a little bit more better, a little bit more refined. Yes, true. But so far, when once this story is done, maybe I will start making a new one, which is maybe a follow up or a different story. And then after that, we can still work on getting better at it, and probably it will have different kind of things. But of course, it's gonna be still a little bit of a slugfest to go around because, well, you need to do everything yourself. It's not like you're having a whole team to work on it. You don't have like people to work with you. Uh, and why don't I do that? It is because I actually want to see if I can pull it off myself. It's one of those things that I feel very, very fond of. If I can improve upon myself, be better than myself, that is a huge improvement. And of course, not everything is gonna be the same. Not everything is gonna be like a cakewalk. Like for instance, the facial expressions. I got around with it. I did a whole goddamn. Let's see. I got around with it. How did I get around with it? Well, let's see. Oh yeah, Magical Girl Story. Here you go. Chapter 1, and we're gonna go for me. Look at the amount of facial expressions I tried to practice. The amount of facial expression, the amount of facial expressions that I did, gives me the knowledge upon, like, all right, how do I do this? How do the eyes need to position? How does the mouth function when I do these expressions? And that actually gives me immediately the idea of like, all right, so if I do it like that, then, well, it's an easy cakewalk. Of course, not everything is going to be an easy cakewalk. Shading is still a thing. Clothing. Oh, clothing. I'm rooting for you. Thanks. Thanks. I am the best. I'm the best horse when it comes to, horse racing. You can always bet on me. It doesn't guarantee you win, but at least, you will feel proud that you sponsored your local horse. uh, horse racing. Yeah. I'm definitely rooting for myself as well. And of course, there are always signs that you have some downtime, or you're a little bit too tired on working on it. I had it sometimes with the Morphog project because, well, it's a very overwhelming amount of stuff that needs to be done, and the amount of stuff you need to be done, you need to always split it in multiple parts, and then you can finally continue. That's at least what I learned, and I'm very happy upon that I learned it that way, at least. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Eh. Voila. No, wait. Another one. There we go. So, so what we need to do, one of the things that we actually do need to do is actually keeping the reference that we already have with the wizard, and keeping that reference near us to see like, all right, did I forgot any of the details? Did I forgot any of the ideas? Like, for instance, right here we have the two lines, yes. Then an upper part, then a yes. All right, good. So we have this head piece. Well, this head piece is gonna be like that. So what are we gonna be doing? Well, we're gonna do it like that, and then we're gonna make sure that, well, the metal part is gonna be in the middle of it, going downwards and then upwards like so. Right? Yes, like so, and then that should fix it. All right, so now we have that. We can definitely do this one. We can definitely do this one. And we can do definitely this one. This will gives us the functionality of like, all right, what kind of problems are we at? Well, the problems that we had were this, that, and so. So now we have this. Now we need to make sure that we have the metal part being in the exact formation, like that, like that. Then this one needs to be in the exact formation, like that. And I believe after this one, after the facial expression, I do need to do one more, and then after that it's gonna be another drawing of a whole bloody damn hole. So yeah, it's always important to realize like, all right, how far am I in this? How long would it take? What do I need to realize? Where do I need to draw the line? What can I do for today? And probably today I will probably only do the line work and, call it a day probably, because, it's very important to keep the steps that you want to do separated from the work that how much you need to do. So if you do baby steps, it will probably turn out way better than if you do a big chunky one in one go, and then after that you will be exhausted for a whole week. That is a no-go in my books. I am not happy when I'm doing way too much work for way too little energy, with way too little energy afterwards. So what we're going to be doing today, well, as I said, we're going to be making sure that this is looking nice. All this stuff. And as you can see, I changed the expression on the eye, because the eye on the expression on the original one, the one that is just, talking about things, like, he's like, yes, it's just reading and talking, great. And this one, the wizard is actually smirking like an evil piece of shit that he is, and the eye knows like, yeah, you're so screwed, man. Take that. I like this. I like this kind of idea. Like, it's very important to have this kind of cartoonish kind of a feel to it, because, well, if everything is cartoonish, or at least has the feel of cartoonish, then it's important to also represent that in the clothing or in the facial expressions as well. And then you can do such things as, an eye making like this smirk gesture as well. Same goes for the eyes in the bot part, because right here you have the eyes opened, like, talking straight talking, and then, here you have the eyes literally, having that lovely little smile on his face, like, yeah, take that. So yeah, it's always fun to have these things around. And that's how you make these facial expressions unique. I need to start not fully from the bottom, of course, but since I already have the design, I can just, pick up the design again, and, play, and then, change up the face and change up the position of the head a bit to implement and create this better, how do you say that, expression. Also, one of the things that I also learned is if you have something like, stock image, I got one of them. I'll show you. Downloads. No, it's on pictures. It's definitely on pictures. So this, for instance, is a stock image. The stock image gives me exactly the idea of like, all right, so I have this stock image. I can see like, all right, how do the eyes position? How does the mouth position compared to the face? And then you have here like, all right, we want to have the smirk. Yes, the smirk is gonna be a thing. So how do we do that? Well, we have here the wizard normally, and here we have the wizard smirking. And as you can see, if I add this one there, yeah, that definitely looks like a goddamn smirk. And yeah, I'm very happy upon it. I'm very fond of that. I am getting there. That I'm mastering the whole idea of it, the whole part of it. Let's say the least. Of course, I'm not the best at it, but making a whole goddamn visual novel is a long way to go. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. The closer you get to it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it, the more you get the more motivation you will get for finishing it. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And I'm very happy that I'm using 8 because 8 actually gives me the feeling of like drawing tiny and small without if I would have used the talking and speaking at the same time is a very, very awkward thing sometimes for me. So if I use this one right here, that one is actually quite nice, but the main problem is it doesn't fit. Oh, I didn't change the didn't change it. I changed the goddamn eraser instead. All right, back to explanation. So if I choose this, it is almost the same, but it's a little bit more thinner on the lines. When I'm using the images that I'm using normally, the big ones, the big screen ones, the one that I use for the thumbnail, the one that I used for the whole character, then yes, you should definitely go for that one instead of the 8.35. Yes, because the 8.35 is actually a little bit more thicker. But the good thing about it is that since it's a little bit more thicker, you won't have the problem of like, oh, I'm using this kind of line art on an image that has like very tiny line art. So this is more of a generic line art for the drawing. Well, it's not technically generic, but it's very toony, and I like it. I really like it. But yeah, the inspiration comes from the old school books that are like Tintin and Donald Duck, and other ones that are in Europe. I can name a lot, but it's not very useful for most people. That was my how do you say, inspiration in most cases back in the day for the toony art style that I'm using now. I have been improving it. When I got this tablet, I'll tell you, I couldn't draw jack shit. I couldn't draw anything. It was so funny. It's like, yes, I can draw. Yes, true. But does it look nice? Oh, hell no. Why? Because A, I didn't know how to use colors. I always used black and white. So black and white was always good, but then when I needed to do colors, I was like, right, colors. I forgot about that. They do exist, right? Yes. I'm not colorblind, by the way. I'm just really, really bad at studying colors. It's one of those things that I was like, I'm not gonna do coloring. What is this? That's some girl stuff instead. So yeah, I never learned coloring until when I forced myself to. No, you need to learn colors, regardless of your nature. You must learn the colors. What do they mean? I have no idea, but they must be known. So yeah, I forced myself on coloring. That's why I went with the boat project. The boat project is actually one of those projects that I learned how to draw colors, how to use the colors in an effective way to improve the drawing that I made. I can show you soon what it is once I finish the eye, and then I can show you it. Oh, look at that eye! It looks so good. It looks so smirky. I like it. It looks like a jealous smirk. I see I made a tiny mistake here. Don't want to have an egg for an eye. Want to have a round one. There you go. Yes, he's smirking. He is smirking there. All right. I'm gonna be saving this just in case, and then we can start. And then we have now drawn the full head. Then I'm gonna be making another one for the hair, then one for the body, and then one for the clothing, so that I have different things. I think you do colors well. Yeah, but back in the day I didn't. 3 years ago, no, well, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Let's be precise here. I don't want to be, pulling any levels here, but yeah, 4 years ago, I was not very good at it. But at the end of the fourth year, let's put it that way, I got this up and running. So this is the boat project. As you can see, I learned a lot about coloring then, because this was my first colored drawing. Yeah, I'm impressed as well that this is my first drawing of color. But yeah, as you can see, beautiful fish right there. Some coral reefs. I used photos, most likely. I used most of it is just photos of rocks, and then and then added them. The Titanic right there, and yeah, it was a very fun drawing. And this one is actually now still used in one of the marine ships at the captain's office. My sister works with the Navy, and the captain, and she offered me to say like, hey, we need to renovate one of the places, so we want to actually have a picture on the wall. Are you interested to make one? And I was like, sure, give me a year and I will make one. And yeah, it's great. It turns out great, looks gorgeous, and I really am proud of how well it turned out to be. Even though it might not look like much for some people, but yeah, for me it is one of my favorite kind of things. It's very colorful, very lively, and from there on, a lot of experience. I actually went with the Mofog. So if you look at the Mofog, for instance, that is actually the experience I got from after the boat project. So I worked on a Mofog after the boat project. And there are some things that are very problematic in the Mofog project. But they are not, they are way different than the boat project. For instance, this is the Mofog project. It's a very nice drawing. It's very, very clean. It's much more cleaner than the one before. Of course, I have not, I have like a very, very judgmental thing, but I must say, I'm very happy upon the end result of this. It looks nice. It looks like just, a thing that you can put in a book and still be amazed by like how much detail there is in the drawing. So yeah, I took the experience from that and put it also back into the drawings that I learned from how to draw cartoonish. So if you then look at the if you look then at the Drawfest 3, which was last year. Oh, hello, playbook. Don't worry, man. I'm just you have not missed much. I'm just explaining things now to people about the experience I got. So then I took the experience I got with the detail, and I implemented it on my cartoonist parts. So this is what is the end result of that. I had to work with a very detailed texture, and I had to implement it into my drawing. And I was like, all right, I will implement it into my cartoonish style, and that's how it got there. How did I do the stones? How did I learn that? Well, I learned that also by boop 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 boop. I have everything that I know how to learn. It's on the me side. So we're gonna go for this one, and then we know where we're going here. The eggs look fantastic. Yeah, they are. They are gorgeous. And this is how I learned the stones. This is the fun part, I made a little cartoonish kind of idea of, a Maya calendar getting broken down with the bomb driving into it. Of course, it's not fully the cartoonish style that I'm working on, or what I have been working on, but yeah, it does have the ideas like, the eyes, the cartoonish style in stone with all the fun little things around it. And it's very funny, like, fucking chickens everywhere. Shark, chicken, Cthulhu monsters. It's great. But yeah, and that I implemented now in the and that I implemented in the throne room. So if you now pick up the throne room, which which I have been working on from the Magical Girl story, I have been implementing that. I have implemented the throne rooms and the throne room. If you take the drawing and you look at the drawing right now, you can see exactly what I'm going to be doing. Hold on, it's going to be loading. Of course it's going to be loading. Why would it not be? So as you can see, I improved upon it. I improved upon the stones that I learned back a year ago. And you can see it totally pays off. And I'm very happy upon it. I'm very fond of it. And that's like, oh, it's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous to look like. And I cannot wait for, this dude, to be talking, having the fun little thing like the evil looking smirk on his face like, haha, I beat you, you fools. So yeah, it's great. So now we have done this one. Now we're going to continue with the other one. So I also learned this, by the way. Always group your goddamn line art. It's so goddamn important. If you don't do it, most of the problems will occur back, like with the Malfa project. It's insane. But yeah, the wizard is getting better and better, and I'm very happy upon it. I'm very happy that it is actually doing so well. All right, so we're gonna do the hair first, and then we're gonna do the other one. And why do we do that? Because if we do the hair first, we have a good idea what it looks. And as you can see, I have not changed the eyes. I just have changed the smirk, but I did have changed the position on the on the hat, and I have changed the position of the hat's expression, like here. So yeah, it's that's how you can see that. Yeah, it's a different. It's the same character, but a different expression. It's not like a copy paste. Like, ah, yes, it's the copy paste. No, it's not very copy paste because technically I always need to redraw everything myself again, even though I have already drawn it. Also, I have changed the nose, the mustache. The mustache is now a little bit more vertical. Like, when you have that. I noticed there's a lot of Japanese sign in your art. Do you speak Japanese? No, I don't. But I do. I know exactly what it says. So that's the fun part. Well, with the speed drawings, I did do a lot of Japanese languages just to see the how do you say that? With the speed drawings for the draw fest contests, I do use a lot of the how do you say Japanese art, because for instance this one, I like how the hat is smirking too. Yes, exactly. That's the whole point. That's the whole joke. So this is Lazy Larry Days. This is literally saying Lazy Larry Days with free drinks and free food. And then the bomb says there is nothing better than a day off. And this is drawn within an hour. That's how fast I can draw, and I really am proud of it. Also Larry, because Larry is fun. So yeah, yeah, the ideal loan of working on this, getting better at it, improving upon that, and then, you know, continue working on it after that. Did I say it right? Working on it, getting better at it, and then improving from that. Yes. Now I said correctly. And I'm very fond of it, that I learned so much of this by just, you know, doing it, and then, you know, don't give up. Just continue working on it, and eventually you will get better at it. The only downside is you do need to be you just need to make sure that you critique yourself. It's very important that you can judge yourself, knowing where the mistakes are, how to avoid them, and if you don't know how to avoid them, look it up. Find a way. Work around it. See if you can work around it. Therefore, you can avoid the problem entirely. And that's the thing that comes with experience and knowledge, honestly. Oh my god. Did I do it now correctly? I did draw it correctly, good. There are some bits that I'm a bit afraid of. Yes. Alright. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that one is totally wrong. There we go. Then we're gonna go down. There we go. Very nice. Yeah, it is. It's a very nice and relaxing thing to do, you know, just drawing in general, at least, you know, it's very keeping my mind very zen. In most cases, it's like, what did you draw today? Well, the same thing as I always do, but it doesn't matter because, well, you know, it's very relaxing. The only downside now is that, you know, improving from there is it's getting harder to see where the mistakes are, but of course when you take a look at somebody else's work, then, well, you know, you're not supposed to be comparing that to yours. The main issue with that, however, is that, you know, oh, look at that beautiful art that somebody made, and it's like, I can only do this, and then, you know, you be like, damn, I can only do that, and that will be very demotivating. That's why you always need to compare yourself with your artwork that you did, not the other way around. If you compare yourself with the artwork that you did like a year ago, you can see the improvement, and that is important. That's what counts. If you continue improving from where you stood, you will only get better. And the more you get better at it, the better it gets. The more people will be inspired by it, and the more people that are inspired by it, the more better. How do you say that? The more better the whole idea. The more. Sorry, I'm not good with this. Maybe like this? I can do that, but that would not make sense. That's stupid. I prefer not. I prefer just, you know, an open nose. There you go, an open nose for you alone. Alright. And the better you get, the more people will be inspired by it. Or at least, you know, the more inspired people get by it, the ones that like it. That's the most important part. Having fun while drawing. That's always the best. That's always the best part. So I could technically do this, but it wouldn't make sense. If I do it like that, that would not make sense. And also it doesn't work with the drawing that I did before. Therefore, I should not. Alright. Now we have drawn. Whoop. All right. And now we are almost there. No, almost. Hold on. Yes, I see the problem here. Interesting. Is that the way to do it then? Probably. Yes, that's the way to do it. Awesome. Thank you, me, for seeing that insight. Almost made a mistake there with the smirk. Alright. So now we have the thing, because technically this is gonna be like that. But we could also do... we could also just do this one. It's the same result, if I'm correct. Yes, it is. Alright. Now, what do we need to do? I need to draw the eyes and the face. So let's do the eyes first. And then we can do the bottom part as well. We can look at this. Yes. The eyes are now in the center. That is correct. So now one of the eyes is fully in the center. That's the whole point here. There you go. Very tiny. Very easy. Gentle doing it. No need to rush. Because if you rush, you're screwed. No. Voila. Ah. Two more, the more accomplished you will, the more accomplished you will. Yes, Zen, indeed. How would you say your feelings, how would you say your feelings in Dutch? How would I say my feelings in Dutch? I would say I am, Ik ben zeer blij met hoe ver ik ben gekomen. Ik ben zeer opgelucht dat ik nu hier ben. En dat ik zoveel al heb meegemaakt om te kijken van... Ah, ja, dus zo ben ik nu. Blij, zou ik dan zeggen? Zou ik blij zeggen? Vrolijk, opgelucht en vrolijk. Ja, 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 zeker. Vrolijk, vrolijk. V-O-O-R-L-E-G-K. Vrolijk. Yeah, it's definitely not spelled the way how English should spell it, but that's how you spell it. V-O-O-R-L-E-G-K. Vrolijk, vrolijk. Ik ben vandaag zo vrolijk, zo vrolijk, zo vrolijk. Ik ben behoorlijk vrolijk. Dat is hoe that's how it goes. Ja, ja, inderdaad. So yeah, that's how I would spell it in Dutch. Vrolijk. Opgelucht en vrolijk. All right. Look at that. Looking good. And now we can just, put this one down there. And now we can put this one right there as well. And because the head is blocking the view, you cannot see that one. Good. Now we can move to the mouth as well. And yes, the mouth is not that. The whole point of this mouth, instead of the mouth that normal, you have also this kind of mouth. Yeah. And then you have like or yeah or wah. So yeah, we don't use that mouth. We don't use the peanut mouth. That's the peanut mouth is not allowed. It's a big no-go. It's too much used. Let's put it that way. It's not a very fun mouth to use. I prefer the old-fashioned tiny smirk while talking. That's exactly what he's doing. He's like, ha! Look at you, you pathetic buffoon. I beat you with my weakest spell. So yeah, that's how it works. Oh boy. I made a mistake. It's in the eyes, isn't it? Yes, it is in the eyes. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, there is a mistake in these eyes. There you go. Now it's fixed. Oh boy. Let's see. Is that now fixed? Yes, it is fixed. There you go. Hmm. 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 Well, I didn't touch anything here. So there is a problem. There is a problem in the eye section. The main problem here is that the eye is correct. The biggest of the eye. This one is big. This one is bigger than the other one. So technically, this one needs to be tinier. But if I do that, if I remove this part, because technically this is the part that needs to be removed. This eye is too big. This eye is a little bit too big, so we technically should lower it down. So we're going to do that. And we're going to lower down the eye. There you go. And then this spot, and this part. And then, that part as well. Oh, thank God I fixed it. That was scary. That was scary. All right. What I just noted, the peanut mouths. Yeah, XD. I like listening to you speaking Dutch. Yeah, if you ever need a word, translated, I could help with that. I'm not the best one, trust me. My Dutch is when it comes to vocabularies, but it's decent. It's decent enough. I can speak it, so that's all good. I am literally native Dutch, but I'm not good at writing it with my heavy dyslexia. And then you're probably asking, like, why are you then doing also a visual novel when you have heavy dyslexia? And it's like, exactly. Why would you not do that? It makes you learn how to read and write. The main problem is, however, that the how do you say that? The main problem is that, well, you gotta do better then. you gotta be improving upon your vocabulary, but also you need to learn on, like, all right, if I write it like this in my own native language, then it's not gonna be like the same thing as a American author would write it, or a British author. No. It would definitely be more Dutch. The only downside is that, well, most people will not even understand the reference that you're going like, ah, yes, he's going with the fishes. Yeah, that's definitely something that a British person would say, but I would say like, when you look at a kitty if you keep looking at the kitty in the tree, nothing will happen. That's literally a thing that we say. Or never give a given horse something. Never give a given horse something. Yeah, never stop your dream. Never stop your never stop. Trying to achieve your dreams. Indeed, and that is a thing that I do. I am very fond of how much I learned from this, and it keeps my English up to date, and that's why I'm always streaming in English, just to keep myself up to date with English. Because, well, I'm not speaking English when I'm talking to the local farmer or local supermarket and be like, yes, I like to have my cheese and my vegetables today. No. I'm not that kind of person. I do not speak English. Unless, of course, the person asks something in English and like, hey, do you know where I need to go for the hospital? And I'm like, 2 streets down, second on the right, and then, you go on the left. Bye. So, yeah, have a nice day, and then, everything works fine. It's all about, knowing when, it's all about, being able to translate the language, or, well, being able to translate. I'm very good at, if somebody says me something in English, I would be probably able to understand what they mean, as long as it's not using very different kind of words, and I'm being like, what the hell did I just hear? What the hell did I heard? Is that a new word that popped up today? Is that a new vocabulary word that you used? If you just use plain as English, then, well, I would be able to understand exactly what you're saying, and I'm very happy about that. It's the same. Same goes for German. Yeah, German I can also understand pretty much. I cannot speak it. Well, I can speak it, but it's very bad. And English is one of the most common languages to, well, communicate. Making sure that I need to communicate with you what I want to speak to, what I want to speak towards you. Then yeah, I need to do that. The difference between translation and language specific phrases and ideas is something that always fascinates me. Yeah. In Spanish, for example, you don't say "we cross that bridge" when we get there. If you want to say if you want to say worry about it, if you want to say worry about it later. Oh yes, I see. Yeah, you don't crush that bridge. We're gonna crush that bridge when we get there. Yeah, that's the thing that we don't also say. We probably would say like, yeah, when it comes, better prepare for it. Something like that. It's very easy. We don't use these very intriguing kind of things. We use in Dutch. It's more like, all right, if you have the object at hand, then you're probably gonna use the object as the word you're gonna be probably using. So, let's see. How do you say that? A school board, for instance, a board where you can draw on school, that where you can draw on it and then write everything down. Yeah, it's the same. It's a school, and then board, and board. Well, and then you have also things like a bicycle. Well, we know that there is a big giant wheel in it. So how we're gonna say it? We're gonna say that it's a fiets, but the bicycle, if you have the French bicycle things in France, the Tour de France, you also have the bicycles there, but they are called different. We have multiple words for multiple things, but because it is a specific thing, it's a thing that is a sport. So like running, it's the same thing. It's a running sport technically because it's on the bike. So what you would say, instead of a running bike, it's gonna be saying een wielren. You run and it has wheels. Therefore, it's a wielren. renner, fiets. It's very easy to understand when you finally know the words, but it's very difficult for other people because, we're using so much combinations of French words, English words, and German words together in one language that it sometimes is very confusing on how to write it or how to pronounce it. I would say in Spanish, literally everyone will ask what bridge is that taught literally. Yeah. Yep. We would say that too. Like, what kind of bridge are you gonna be waiting for? Please tell me. I'm very confused right now. I thought we were there a minute ago, but now you're saying that we need to wait for a bridge. What? It's great. It's great. It's great. So yeah, border differences. Oh well, language barriers are so much fun to deal with, and also very fun to know around and to see happening. All right. Let me see how much time I have actually been spending. An hour. Ah, yes. Uh, it has been an hour. I'm so sorry. Should I then finish up the beard and then call it a day? Yes, I would definitely finish up the beard so that I don't have to deal with that anymore. That's a smart move. So, it has been an hour now. After I finish the beard, I will be calling it a day because, well, I normally don't do streams over an hour. Just we will get from point A to point B, and then, the whole momentum of drawing is lost. And I always want to make sure that if I do my drawings, I always want to keep it in 1 hour so that I learn to learn drawing quicker. That's why I always watch the timer, just to make sure that I'm getting better at drawing faster, so that I get more things done for the same amount of time, and that's very important for me at least. So if you understand correctly, you speak English, Dutch, and German. You wouldn't happen to speak Russian. Nope, I won't. It's a good stopping point, yeah, indeed. All right. Anyway, it was fun having you all. I'm very happy upon it, and I hope everybody has been enjoying the drawing and the talking around it. And I hope I'll see you all next time. Until then, I want to wish you all a lovely day, and bye.